Hello everyone, good morning. This is Rachel live from Kalkine TV Studio and you're watching The Opening Bell. Let's have a look at the Australian market updates. The S&P ASX 200 is marginally down by just 2.30 points today to 7,058.40. The bottom performing stocks in the index are Kalkine and Blackmores Limited. On Friday, the ASX 200 finished the week with a minor loss of 0.04% or 2.8 points after closing 5.3 points up on Friday. The benchmark index is yet to pick a direction as it's oscillating around 7,000 mark from the last several sessions. And now let's take a look at the US market updates. The US equities rose on Friday as solid economic data helped Wall Street reverse its decline from the previous session, when reports of a Biden administration push to increase taxes on capital gains put pressure on the equities. IHS Markit's Flash Factory PMI for the US hit 60.6 in the first half of the month, clogging highest reading on records since 2007. Stocks rallied on Wall Street on Friday, with the broader market index S&P 500 hitting an intraday record high. Also on Friday, the Dow Jones rose 0.67% to 34,043.49. The S&P 500 closed 1.09% higher at 4,180.17. The Nasdaq Composite was up 1.44% to 14,016.81. Looking at major newsmakers now, Westpac on Monday said its cash earnings in the first half of 2021 would be negatively impacted due to additional provisions for customer refunds, payments and other associated costs, along with an accounting loss in sale in Westpac Pacific. Downer EDI Limited announced today it had entered into an agreement to sell its tyre management business, Otteracco, to Bridgestone Corporation. Bridgestone was established back in 1931 and is listed on the Tokyo Stock Exchange. It is a global company with operations in more than 150 countries, providing world-class tyres and sustainable mobility solutions. The sale price represents an enterprise value of $79 million. NIB Holdings said that the underlying profit for the group in financial year 2021 was expected to be much stronger than the prior corresponding period on account of robust performance in the second half. And Sigma Healthcare Chief Executive and Managing Director Mark Hooper has submitted his resignation. Hooper served the company for almost 11 years. OM Holdings announced it would extend the travel restrictions at its Sarawak smelter complex in Malaysia after fresh rise in new COVID-19 cases. Main Street Group says that funds under administration rose $47.4 billion over the March quarter to $272.2 billion after it onboarded asset manager Pendal. McGrath said that it now expected underlying EBITDA between $16.5 million to $17.5 million for financial year 2021 amid positive residential property markets. Peninsula Energy has reported an operating cash loss of $2.2 million on zero sales for the March quarter. Oil prices rallied more than 1% on Friday, but ended the week on a negative note. The major support came from economic data, as stronger PMIs across Europe and a weaker US dollar are supporting oil prices. However, concerns demand from India and Japan lingered. That's capping the gains. The WTI crude rose 1.16% to $62.14 US dollars a barrel on Friday. Brent crude closed at $66.09. That's up 1.06%. And energy planners such as Santos Limited, Oil Search Limited and Beach Energy Limited could trade higher for the day. Meanwhile, the US dollar fell on Friday as the greenback lost some of its safe haven appeal. The dollar index fell 0.487% on Friday. And meanwhile, China will launch a series of activities next month to boost domestic consumption, including an expo on consumer goods in the southern province of Henan, the Commerce Ministry said on Sunday. And Britain looks set to see faster economic growth in the United States this year as the country races ahead with its vaccination program after its slump in 2020, Goldman Sachs said on Sunday. The US is all set to announce its growth numbers for the first quarter of 2021. The numbers, which the US Bureau of Economic Analysis would be releasing on the 29th of April 2021, are expected to show a faster economic expansion in the quarter ending March 2021 as against the previous quarter. The International Monetary Fund, that's the IMF, expects the US economy to grow by 6.4% in 2021. That's almost 400 basis points above the normal rate of growth it has shown in the past few years. A day before the US growth numbers would be announced on the 28th of April, the American Central Bank, the US Federal Reserve, would be announcing its monetary policy decision. The Board of Governors of Fed that take this call meets at intervals of 5 to 8 weeks. The global markets are already discounting for a status quo in the American monetary policy. Meanwhile, Eurostat would be coming with the first quarter GDP numbers of the Eurozone. The Eurozone, along with the United Kingdom, witnessed lockdowns in the first quarter due to the spike in fresh COVID-19 infections. Eurozone is expected to grow by 4.4% this year. Stay tuned for more live updates on Kalkine TV across the economy, markets and sectors.